Internet, what's up? This is Rob from TechGuysSmartBuy.com, and today we are talking camera talk. But now we're talking about the Sony ZV-E10. So we're going to tell you all that you need to know about it and why this is a great and versatile camera for you to get started with or use as a beat cam. So let's dive into it. The Sony ZV-E10 is more or less a sequel to the ZV-1, which is a YouTuber point-and-shoot 4K camera from last year. You have the return of 4K video up to 30 frames per second, 425 autofocus points with eye tracking, product showcase, background defocus, a 3-inch flip-out touchscreen LCD, 3 capsule mic with windscreen, and ability to do video calls or continuous live stream via USB while taking advantage of its face detection and continuous autofocus. But gone is the dedicated f1.8 to 2.8 24 to 70 millimeter Zeiss zoom lens with built-in ND filters and slow motion up to 960 frames per second. They also swapped out that 20.1 megapixel 1-inch Exmor sensor for a larger 24.2 megapixel sensor from the A6100. So this gives you overall sharper images and video quality. Now, the 4K 30 frames per second works well in a variety of situations depending on what lens you have attached to it, of course. Keep in mind that 16 to 50 millimeter kit lens will only get you so far, as you're gonna probably need to spend a little more money on pricier glass to get the best results. I pretty much use it as a run and gun, and I threw on my Sigma f1.8 18-35 millimeter with an adapter. So I was able to kind of do a little bit of everything. Grab sharp photos, good visuals in day or low light. Is an amazing run and gun solution. And by the way, there's no optical in-body image stabilization and relies on an electronic one. So you'll need a gimbal to pull off some smooth vlogging while walking shots. And then being more of an entry-level shooter, don't expect a high bit rate as well, as you max out at 100 megabits per second XAVCS format. However, you do have support for S-Log2, S-Log3, and HLG for color grading in post. And of course, now to the biggest feature, and that is the addition of Sony's interchangeable E-mount system. So, like I said, instead of a permanent Zeiss zoom lens that they had, which was okay, the 24 to 70 wasn't my ideal range. If it was 18-35, I think it'd be a better fit. But now you can put on whatever you want. You could throw on a 16 or 20 millimeter for vlogging. You could throw on a 50 millimeter for portrait shots or something. Or if you want to run and gun, you're gonna spend a little money, you could throw on a Sigma 18-35, a Tamron 28-70, or a Sony G Master zoom lens to handle multiple situations, allowing you to be versatile above and beyond a kit lens. But along with being a game changer, there are some things worth noting. Like I said, this being an APS-C E-mount, it will have a 1.5x crop when using full frame length. So example, a 24 millimeter will give you a 36 millimeter view, and 40 millimeter will act like a 60 millimeter. So if you're using glass not made for Sony's APS-C shooters, this might put a damper on your vlogs by showing less of you instead of more of a wide angle. So definitely something you want to keep in mind. Now, the noted features, along with being able to swap out lenses, is product showcase and the background defocus features. They didn't get utilized as much as they did on the ZV-1. In a controlled environment, you can get it off, but in other cases, it can be hit or miss. So I would mainly use a lens to pull off the shallow depth of field effect. Now, if you don't have the lens, then you might have to work with that, or so you can afford a lens that you're able to pull that kind of stuff off. And now another drawback is battery life. Unfortunately, as it's using the sensor as the A6100 series, it's also using those same older and smaller MPF FW50 batteries as well that are on, A6000, A63, A65, even A6400 I'm shooting on right now. So depending how much you're shooting, you're gonna need at least 2 batteries to get you through the day. While it's easily one of the weakest points of the shooter, we got a workaround for you. You can always rig it up with a cage and pick up what I did with the Power Junkie setup with a dummy battery, which lets you use a larger NPF battery to power this thing up for days. I probably have to charge that NPF battery every month, give or take. Takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to shoot A-roll, and then B-roll is a lot of stop and starting. I'm doing that every so often. That's way better than using the smaller ones. So after 2 weeks with it, I think the ZV-E10 has a massive improvement over the ZV-1. The specs are mostly the same, but more so for the option to put on whatever lens you want on here via E-mount or via adapter. This opens up its adaptability and usefulness to better fit your specific needs. This is great for entry-level content creators and for those of you seeking an additional B camera to their setup. You can rig it up any way you like. You can have it go bare bones. You can add a cage to it. And at $699 for the body is a great sub $1,000 price point to pick one up. We will have affiliated links for ZV-E10 rig if you want to throw Power Junkie on it, and all that will be in the description below. And let me know what you think about it. Did you pick one up? Are you looking to pick one up? I know they're not, the availability for a lot of Sony cameras aren't where they should be. Let us know if you have any further questions. We can definitely try to see if we can answer it. Sound off in the comments below. We appreciate you for stopping by, because you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. And see you in the next video. Peace.